Now, in the relentless conflict between Israel and Gaza, the death toll continues to mount as humanitarian situation in Gaza continues to worsen. Now, the two largest hospitals in Gaza are now out of service, and two crucial Gaza hospitals, Al-Shifa and Al-Quds, have also shut down due to fuel shortages, leaving the already dire situation even more critical. In fact, World Health Organization has also warned that the biggest hospital, which is Al-Shifa, is nearly a cemetery now, and thousands of people, in fact, who are there are inside trapped right now, and the hospital is also filled with dead bodies amid no place to bury the dead. In fact, we're also talking about what's happening in Gaza. However, Israel is also not stopping as it aims to purge Hamas. Israel forces have now surrounded the Rantisi hospital as it claims that this hospital is also being used by Hamas to operate it for its terror activities. And amid escalating crisis between the two places now, United States has called for the protection of the hospitals. Meanwhile, United Nations has also slammed Israel for hitting civilian infrastructures, calling it a clear violation of international humanitarian law. However, war continues to rage on despite this global outcry, and Israel's government is also earmarking a substantial $51.7 million to reinforce the security infrastructure of the country's hospitals. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has also asserted that any consideration of a ceasefire hinges on the release of hostages by Hamas.
אני פה בגצר הבדואי, מפקד נאדר, לוחמים עזי נפש, מפקדים, יהודים ובדואים, עומדים שכם אל שכם, נלחמו בגבורה, נלחמים עכשיו בגבורה, שומרים על המדינה שלנו בצורה נפלאה, שותפות מדהימה. ואני מצדיע לכם, סומך עליכם, אתם העתיד של כולנו. והשותפות שלנו זה העתיד של כולנו, מול הפראים האלה. פשוט פראים. עכשיו אתם כולכם חדורים באותה מטרה. אנחנו הולכים לנצח. אין פה הפסקות, אין פה חצאי דברים, זה לא מבצע, זה לא סבב. פה הולכים עד הניצחון הטוטלי.
Underneath the hospital, in the basement, we found a Hamas command and control center, suicide bomb vests, grenades, AK-47 assault rifles, explosive devices, RPGs and other weapons, computers, money, etc. And we also found signs that indicate that Hamas held hostages here. This is not the last hospital like this in Gaza. And the world should know that. That's a crime. That's a war crime. That's a crime against humanity. That's against international law. Who gives money to these hospitals? Who shares this hospital and embraces this hospital is helping Hamas effort.
You know, I have not been reluctant in expressing my concerns what's going on. And it's my hope and expectation that there will be less intrusive action relative to the hospital. We're in contact and we're with the Israelis. Also, there is an effort to take this pause to deal with the release of prisoners. And that's being negotiated as well with the Qataris are engaged, and so I remain somewhat hopeful. But the hospital must be protected.
What the president has just said and what I've said is that we do not want to see firefights in hospitals. We want to see patients protected. We want to see hospitals protected. We have spoken with the Israeli government about this, and they have said they share that view, that they do not want to see firefights in hospitals.
In Gaza, as ground operations by the Israeli Defense Forces intensify, the relentless Israeli bombardment continues, hitting civilians, hospitals, refugee camps, mosques, churches, and UN facilities, including shelters. The Secretary General is, and I am, deeply concerned about clear violation of international humanitarian law that we're witnessing in the ongoing conflict. Let me repeat the clear unequivocal position of the United Nations that no party to an armed conflict is above international humanitarian law. Even wars have rules.
Now, the conflict in Gaza has raised concerns about a broader regional escalation. In response to attacks on American forces, at least 8 pro-Iran fighters were also killed in US strikes in eastern Syria. Now, this marks the third such incident in less than 3 weeks, indicating an uptick in the tensions linked to the Israel-Hamas conflict. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Iran's foreign ministry has affirmed its continued support for Palestinian militant groups, both politically and spiritually, emphasizing regional resistance against Israel.
به حمایت سیاسی و معنوی خود به طور جدی ادامه خواهیم داد. خوشبختانه گروه‌های مقاومت در منطقه به اندازه کافی از توان نظامی و قدرت نظامی برای مقاومت علیه رژیم صهیونیستی برخوردار هستند و این رو در بازه‌های زمانی مختلف این توانمندی رو نشون دادن.